We were all super close to my mom. She just like, homeschooling for her was perfect. Her whole life was just about taking good care of us, and she committed her whole life to us. I think my relationship with my mom specifically was just like wanting to copy her and just be like her because I was the oldest kid. When I started first moving into the high school years, part of my transition into like a public school was that it was getting a little bit harder for her to teach and like to find the energy to teach as much. And my mom just kept getting like more tired and a little bit more withdrawn. And we didn't exactly know the cause and thought that it might be just from depression or something. Well, it was my senior year. That was when mom just kind of like stayed in bed all the time, and it was hard to get her up. We came home to check on her, and she was like completely unresponsive, conscious, but like was not responding to us, and appeared to be trembling and potentially having like a little bit of a seizure. So luckily, almost like just a couple minutes later, my dad came home, and so our little group just drove to the emergency room, and they admitted her, and she just got a brain scan at that point. Then they just told us that she had brain cancer, that she had like a pretty big tumor, and yeah. So it was just like a lot of just spending time together, and just like next level appreciation for mom and for everybody else, obviously too. So yeah, just not taking any time for granted. I remember we just had like a very melancholy day together. It was like gloomy, and she and I just like went to the movie theater and just saw like a bunch of movies in a row, just to like spend the day together. Eventually, on top of like not being able to move around on her own or anything, she just like stopped eating. And then we started giving her like liquid food, and then she stopped drinking. And so at that point, everybody just came home. I just was super mad at God because it felt extremely unfair, especially for my younger siblings that had known her healthy for not even that many years. And then to have her taken like that was just like insult to injury. It felt like very surreal. It was just like crazy weird. It felt like a different life. And yeah, it was just like, I couldn't believe that it was happening. Mm-hmm. And so it's not been super long since she passed away, and it's definitely just been a lot of different phases. I just finally got to like the point of desperation where I felt like I was just floundering a little bit. It wasn't like a moment, but it was like a couple months of just like recalibrating and just focusing on the sovereignty of God even through suffering, just deciding to focus more on that instead of focusing on my circumstances. And the main way that I have felt God's presence is just through continued just godly people, helpful people that He's placed in my life for when I do get more on the dark and bitter side, that they can speak truth into my life when I'm too angry to like look for truth on my own anymore. Pretty much any verse that had the word anxious in it was something that I was looking to just because of such fear of the future. I think I've just learned that God cares about us enough to make us uncomfortable or beyond uncomfortable, and just in order to refocus us on what is truly important, and that is eternity and not life on this earth, not even our relationships on earth, but just that He definitely doesn't let any grief go to waste. Even though circumstances are never the same, my feelings are never the same from hour to hour. The main thing that I've learned about God through the entire process is that God is the same yesterday and today and forever.